So in my Analyst Booking Room this week, Becky Lynch versus Jessika Carr. Could Becky Lynch and Jessika Carr be the next WrestleMania shocker? Now, what happens when the man crosses path with the referee? Rumors are swirling, and the Analyst Booking Room is buzzing. Could Becky Lynch and Jessika Carr be the WrestleMania shocker no one saw coming? There has been a lot of action and interactions between former Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch and female referee Jessika Carr. Becky blames Carr for the loss of the Intercontinental Championship to Maxine Dupree. And Carr is trolling Becky online as an answer, while Becky is all over social media saying that her lawyers are going to give her the Intercontinental title back. Becky is also all over Adam Pearce on this and has decided to boycott Raw until Pearce meets her demands. Now, I think Maxine will hang on to the Intercontinental title because Becky will be going after another feud that not too many people are expecting. So let's enter my booking room and see what direction I would be going with Becky Lynch from now until WrestleMania 42. So, December 15th episode of Raw. Becky Lynch comes back to Raw after getting the following guarantees from Adam Pearce: an Intercontinental title rematch against Maxine Dupree on December 22nd, and a promise that Jessika Carr will not be the referee for the match. Becky promises to destroy Maxine and take back her title. So, following week, we have Becky versus Maxine. During the match, a masked female comes out from backstage and gets on the ring apron. Becky is distracted, and when she turns around, Maxine slaps on the ankle lock submission, including the leg scissors. Becky has no other choice than to tap out. Now, Jessika Carr will be the referee. Jessika Carr will be the referee for another match during the night, and will cross paths with Becky backstage on her way to the ring. And Carr can say, "Well, Becky, I was not the referee tonight, and you still lost." Sorry. Becky can answer, stopping dead in her tracks. "Say that again?" And Carr answers back, "You heard me. Maybe the problem isn't you, Becky. Maybe the problem isn't me." Sorry, I'm remaking this quote. "You heard me. Maybe the problem isn't me, Becky. Maybe the problem is you." And just walks off while Becky is fuming and muttering to herself. So we get to December 29th, and Lynch goes to Adam Pearce and talks about conspiracies against her, demands to know who the masked woman is. When Pearce answers that he doesn't know, Lynch replies that she wants to have a match against her to expose her. And Pearce makes the match official for the first anniversary of Raw on Netflix on January 5th, 2026. Lynch replies that she doesn't want Carr as the referee either. Pearce answers that he didn't have Jessika Carr scheduled as the referee because he didn't want any excuses if she loses. So, first anniversary episode of Raw on Netflix: Becky versus Calix. Now, Becky has Calix in the disarm submission and boasts that she will win the match, but Calix shockingly reverses the hold into a roll-up for the 3 count. Calix then quickly rolls out of the ring and rolls backstage. The commentary team can then state, even without Jessika Carr in stripes, Becky still couldn't get it done. And who is this masked woman that seems obsessed with Becky Lynch. So Jessika Carr is coming back from the ring after refereeing another match, and Becky Lynch storms in her direction, and that's on the January 12th episode of Raw. So Carr can say, smirking, "Wow, Becky, I was not the referee last week, and you still lost to a virtual unknown. She even reversed your disarm her. She must have had good scouting reports on you," and proceeds to walk away. Becky answers, "You must have told her how to beat me since you are constantly screwing me over, crooked Carr." Carr stops in her track and says, "I didn't say anything to her about you. I told you 2 weeks ago. Maybe the problem is you." Carr walks off as Becky glares, fist clenched. Camera lingers on Becky's face, and you can see the rage building. So until now, here's why it works. There's a clear motivation for Becky here. Her obsession with Jessika Carr feels justified. She lost 6 matches under Carr's watch, including a title and War Games. That history makes her paranoia believable. There's logical progression. Each match or each beat escalates naturally. Becky gets guarantees, loses despite them, suspects conspiracy, demands a match, loses again. Tension with Carr grows, feels organic, not rush. The mystery element adds intrigue to it all. Introducing Calix as a masked wrestler creates suspense and fan speculation. And the commentary lines reinforce that mystery. It protects Becky's star power. Even in losses, Becky looks strong. She dominates Calix before the shock reversal. Her frustration builds and keeps her relevant. Sets up a long term payoff. The seeds for the eventual reveal are planted without giving it away too soon. Fans will anticipate the moment when Becky Lynch unmasks uh, unmask Calix. So let's keep going. January 19th. Calix faces a local wrestler in a match and wins. After the match, Adam Pearce announces that Calix has become a member of the Raw roster and will enter the Royal Rumble. So Becky comes out to the ring and attacks Calix, trying to unmask her. But Calix hits her finisher and runs off backstage. And this shows Lynch obsession for the masked wrestler. So on the 26th, Becky cuts a promo in the ring saying that "I don't care if I have to throw 29 other women over the top rope. I'll make sure that masked rookie doesn't leave with her mask or her pride." So we get to the Royal Rumble. Becky, who entered at number 5, is in the ring as entry number 14 is up. Calix's music hits and Becky stops what she's doing and waits for the object of her obsession to get in the ring. Now, she tries to unmask Calix and fails. Calix eliminates Becky from the match, putting even more fuel on the fire. So we get on the road to WrestleMania with the Raw of February 2nd. Becky Lynch demands a match with Calix, which Adam Pearce makes official for the February 9th episode. So Becky Lynch versus Calix on February 9th. Lynch wins the match and tries to unmask her opponent and fails again. Following week, Becky gets another shot at the Intercontinental Championship, but the referee is, you guessed it, Jessika Carr. Becky loses the match when she is distracted by Calix's music being played and her opponent rolls her for the pin. But Calix never appears ringside. Following week, February 23rd, Becky wins. Following week, Becky wins an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. She said that she doesn't want Crooked Carr as the referee for that match, and that if Crooked Carr is not the referee, she will win the match. So we get to Elimination Chamber on February 28th. Chamber match involves Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, Lyra Valkyria, and Asuka, with Jessika Carr as the referee. So at one point, Becky gets into an argument with Jessika Carr. Push comes to shove. Carr pushes Becky and gets caught in the riptide by Rhea Ripley, and that's how she loses. After being eliminated, Becky attacks Carr and rams her repeatedly in the chamber's walls. The chains or the plexiglass, wherever, Becky just massacres Jessika Carr. So, March 2nd of Raw, Adam Pearce suspends Becky Lynch for her actions at Elimination Chamber. So that triggers another Twitter tweet where of Becky ranting about Crooked Carr and Puny Pearce. So the following week on Raw, Calix gets in the ring and says, "Becky, you've been screaming my name for weeks. Next Monday, I want you in this ring and you'll get your answers." Pearce comes out, states that Lynch is still suspended, but is willing to give the match anyway for the following week. So commentators can sell the story even more with saying, what does Calix mean by a big surprise? Could this be the moment we finally learn who's behind the mask? March 16th of Raw. Calix versus Becky Lynch. Lynch tries to unmask Calix, but Calix hits her finishing maneuver and wins the match. After the match, Calix is in the aisle looking at Becky unraveling in the ring. She has a microphone and says, "Becky, soon, very soon, you will see who I really am," and she points at her mask. Following week, March 23rd, Calix is wrestling Ivy Nile and wins the match with her finisher. After the match, Becky attacks Calix backstage and tries to remove her mask again and fails. Becky wrestles and wins her match. Calix comes to attack Becky, chasing her out of the ring. And while Becky is staring at Calix in the ring, Calix takes a microphone and says, "Becky, you want to know who I really am? Face me at WrestleMania and I'll show you who I am right now." So Becky accepts the challenge and Pearce makes it official. Calix removes her mask and reveals herself as Jessika Carr. Carr then says, "You called me crooked, you blamed me for every loss. At WrestleMania, Becky, I'm not counting your shoulders. I'm pinning them to the mat." So you can have a whole continuation of escalating. But at WrestleMania, whoever wins doesn't really matter here. But the best outcome would be for Carr to win, setting her up for better things. Of course, she could lose at WrestleMania and win on the following PLE, which has happened a lot of times. So tell me what you think about this extensive booking storyline. But I think that this match at WrestleMania, Carr versus Lynch, is really brewing, and this is how I would be booking it.